Ever since the Avengers came out and made literally all of the money, every other studio has tried and failed to launch their own cinematic universe, but growing quietly in the background has been Warner's Monsterverse, with each release becoming slightly more moderately successful than the last. And my opinions on those, not being a Godzilla or Kaiju fan at all, are, okay, and oh, hell yeah. And now we've apparently hit the movie that all of these have been leading up to, and it's fine. At some point after Skull Island, Kong went through puberty and grew even larger and has been kept in isolation by Monarch, the super secret kaiju studying organization that is, around in all of these movies. As established in King of the Monsters, Godzilla has self-esteem issues, so if anything seems stronger than him, he immediately has to fight it, so they've been hiding Kong to prevent the destruction their battle would cause. But after Godzilla attacks the city for seemingly no reason, Walter Simmons, head of Apex Cybernetics, played by another name I need to look up, Damian Beashir, recruits scientist Nathan Lind, played by Alexander Skarsgård, a name I didn't need to look up because I watched True Blood. Don't judge me. Because his brother found the hollow center of the earth that all kaiju come from, which has a power source that can be used to build a weapon to fight Godzilla. Yes, really, that is the actual plot of the movie. No part of that was a joke. To find the power source in the, I repeat, hollow earth, Lin thinks they need Kong to lead them, so he goes to the scientist who's been studying him, Eileen Andrews, played by Rebecca Hall, and her adoptive daughter, who is the only person Kong trusts and wants to protect. So they remove Kong from his isolation, Godzilla's self-esteem issues kick in, and he comes to fight the big monkey. Meanwhile, Millie Bobby Brown teams up with a kaiju conspiracy theorist played by Brian Tyree Henry to discover why Godzilla is attacking. Now look, we all know we're here for big monsters to punch each other, and the human parts are always pretty weak, but part of what made King of the Monsters flow surprisingly well was that the human parts weren't awful. But unfortunately in this one, they really are. This is like Michael Bay Transformers levels of bad. The Kong side of the plot is serviceable enough, but the Godzilla half is genuinely awful and is a hard brick wall to the pacing of the film every time it comes back. But none of that will matter if the big monsters punching each other is good enough, right? Well, it's pretty good. The fights are definitely fun, and there was clearly thought into making each one distinguishable from the others, but they have a lack of any real tension. I think that to prevent Godzilla from being too villainous in a series where he is the hero, we don't see much destruction on his part, so the idea that he needs to be stopped never feels very important, especially with the addition of the Millie Bobby Brown plotline trying to discover his motives. At the same time, Kong never really seems like much of a threat to Godzilla himself, clearly having to exert himself more to damage Godzilla than Godzilla does for him, so the fights never really have the drama of King of the Monsters, where the stakes were much more consistently apocalyptic. The final big brawl is decently satisfying, but the conclusion honestly feels a bit too short. And the two groups of humans who are actually moving the plot forward never cross paths, so the whole film becomes pretty disjointed. It's still good fun, but definitely a disappointment after the balls to the wall insane masterclass of King of the Monsters. So, if you like your kaijus hitting each other, definitely go see it, but if you don't, you'll probably find the whole thing a slog. 6 out of 10.